Oh yes, welcome back to Marvel Contest of Champions News Weekend. This is the weekend edition that looks at the funny side of things of Marvel Contest of Champions, memes, right the way through to features, discussions within the community, those kind of things. And we've got a few stories to cover today which are going to be hopefully a little bit fun. Now what's the first thing I want to talk about, and that is Legends runs, Legend times and the Legend badge in general. Something that I want to start an open dialogue with you guys, and I will be going to the comment section to then pick out stuff for next Marvel Contest of Champions News Weekend and talk about, is there any point or does anybody care about the Legends badge anymore? In the past it used to be this badge of honor, but I think in some ways it's kind of lost its appeal to a lot of players, to a point where I don't think I felt at times when I was starting off as a YouTuber, Marvel Contest Champions YouTuber, when people would kind of go are you a legend? Why aren't you a legend? Legend, why aren't you a legend? You should be a legend. Why haven't you done your Legends run? Legend run. To a point where I just thought, oh right, I'm going to have to do a Legends run then. And I did it at a time where I think it was about 3 hours and 45 minutes, or 3 hours 30 has always been kind of the decent amount cutoff in order to get yourself a Legends badge. So I went for it, and yeah, it's great to have a Legends badge, Legends title, but nowadays it doesn't really mean anything. With a lot of champions nowadays outputting huge amounts on their special attacks, or maybe in their own abilities, huge amounts of bleed damage, poisons, neurotoxins, the list goes on, it's endless. But the fact is, there's a lot of things that still remain true. If you've got Suicide Masteries on, you're able to damage output a huge amount more than normal. And as well, sometimes that you feel that you're able to grind through quite easily with the content. So it's very champion specific, mastery specific, also boost, that's very important. And especially champions, yeah, you're able to smash through huge amounts. Also, the more kind of key thing to remember is that this is predominantly an Apple product based event or thing to do. If you don't have an iPhone, it's probably not achievable. And as soon as I got my iPhone 7 Plus back many moons ago, the fact is when I played with that, it was running the game at a very smooth rate, and there wasn't that much of a loading time between going into different fights. Now there are some Androids that do indeed output a decent amount of speed in order to get through this content. It's not a case it's just cut and dry with all of it, like all iPhones are faster than Androids. There's some Androids that are going to be very fast. Top spec ones starting off, just released, they're quite good. Razer phones, they're quite good as well. Very, very fast. Also quite interesting to see what Korchutsa says, and this is basically a full rundown of what we were just saying right here, with the things used, the champions used, and just the effectiveness from this. Definitely with a boost, putting out a huge amount more percentage, and that's at the time I used 30% boosts. And you've got to remember to keep those boosts on. Always checking to see, not too much checking, because obviously you don't want to divert away from concentrating on the fight. But you've definitely got to keep that into consideration when the timers are due. Maybe put another timer to say, okay, well, this is the time that you've got to put on the next boost. So yeah, what are your thoughts on the Legends run, or the Legends title? Is it too much of a thing where you just go, is there any need for me to actually do it? Do you feel that this is the point that you just want to have that title? There are still some YouTubers out there, Marvel Contest Champions YouTubers, that don't have that title. And now, looking at it, I'm personally, I've never been a case that I go, okay, you have to be a legend. It's not required that much, and I don't think there should be too much pressure at doing this nowadays, especially considering most content doing heroic and master. You're too much far ahead with the game that it doesn't really matter to you to do heroic and master, or maybe it matters to some in order to go through it, or maybe it's a month like it is this month where you need that coral. What are your thoughts on this? And we'll be picking this up next week. Are you starting off the game? Do you feel that the Legends title is something you don't really want to aim for in the future? What are your thoughts? Put in the comment section below. Next up and on to the community page over on Facebook. Link is in the description, by the way. It's a great place. I absolutely do love it. There's some great people, great interactions on there. But what are your thoughts on new champions going in, and in particular ones that Kabam have missed? Now I do know that Kabam, the way they do things is a bit different to other games. Other games will just thrust in champions with very little changes, and maybe in some cases it's a reskin or different outfit. But with Kabam, what they do is they spend time and effort for new champions to be put in, and every time they release new content, new type of nodes, then the champions have to interact with said nodes, and the champions have specific abilities which could interact with other champions. They've got a lot to consider as they make the game more technical based on the skill aspect of understanding this stuff. yeah, it's a bit frustrating at times, but it's good that a developer cares so much about that. I just at times feel they do lose the mark with putting in key champions like this. M'Baku, Shuri, Robbie Reyes, even the Husky Thor, or even another type of Thor like the Stormbreaker version. So we all know that M'Baku would largely be a skill-based character, skill-based champion. I think a lot of players would like to see him put in some kind of capacity. Will that happen or by the time Black Panther 2 is released? Will the game still be running by then? Who knows, but I would like to see it. Also, Husky Thor, Stormbreaker Thor, both weapons wielding Thor. Whatever Thor this could be, more attributed to the Infinity War meets Endgame versions, it would be amazing to see this in. And maybe, as even someone put in the comments for this particular thread of this page, that they were like, well, we could see it. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is soon. It's not ridiculously soon, as in next year, but it's a year after that. But will, again, the game be running? Will it be as popular to receive something like this? Will this even be put in the next year? It could be a case. It depends what Kabam have lined up. But it has been a champion and a character that a lot of players have been talking about fairly recently, especially with Endgame, that they'd love to see. Me personally, I'd like to see the unworthy version of Thor, the one where he's had his arm taken off and he's got the destroyer arm. It just adds a bit more kind of vibrance and originality. I'm not sure if another game has done it in, but still, I'd like to see. Shuri. Okay, a champion, a character that has already been teased in some sort of capacity in the story. So as you know, the story goes on month in, month out. Kabam put something, and it was put in something about Shuri. She was named, but it would be great to see her in, especially in this capacity. We would like to see the ones with the kind of mechanical kind of hand blasters. That would be pretty cool. But look, it's something. Even with her, she would obviously have to be a tech. The same thing could be that she would get a mention or look into maybe in WandaVision, which is the upcoming streaming service show for not Netflix, for Disney. And if we saw her, because that's gonna start, how's Vision gonna come back to life? And maybe it's the case that Shuri actually rebuilds a version of Vision. But that would be cool to kind of see that in conjunction. And then finally, Robbie Reyes. They were talking about this. Also, the character is going to get his own series and Hulu Plus. So this could be really exciting. I think for a lot of us, we would actually like to see this character put in. So that would be pretty amazing. But what are your thoughts on all these characters? Put it in the comment section below. Next up, we're on to the Reddit page. Reddit is another great aspect of community vibe that you all need to get involved with. Some of this stuff is great for helping, tips, loads of different things that are just fantastic. So the Reddit page, link is in the description. But a little topic and a discussion point for a new feature, which would be great. As the game expands and as it develops more nodes, then it would be great to build a duel. As you know, in the past, I've criticized the way that we have duel credits, and let's face it, most of the time we don't actually use them. But what we would use them on is training. Now, that's something that I find a little bit difficult at times, just going like, right, well, we've got a big bad boss in Act 6.2, maybe Act 6.3 in the future, or Act 6.4. The fact is, you want to be able to build that boss so you can train against it. And yeah, Kabam want to take their money, they want to make the money from units, they want the revives being spent, blah, 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 blah. But it would be really nice if we could see some kind of feature where you build your own duel. So I've got myself a duel target, which I've just made up myself. It's a Mr. Sinister. It is a 6-star. It is this rank. It has these type of nodes and exactly like 6.2.2. So therefore I could do that training. And that would be amazing. Just to kind of go, right, well, am I ready for this? No. Have I wasted a load of units and stuff to get there? No. I will be prepared because I've trained myself on this fight. A lot of people seem very happy with this idea, and yeah, I do understand that we could see some kind of sandbox server. Unfortunately, I don't think that MCOC or Kabam are willing to go down that route at any point. It is something for the content contributor program. I think it's been pushed in the past, the idea of going on a sandbox server or some other platform within it that we could just do that. But it's just not going to be there. I don't think a lot of other mobile games do go down that route, but it would be amazing to see. As games expand and game studios expand and they improve, it should be something they should look into, depending on the success of the game. If you look at things with PUBG Mobile, I think they have that. I think there's other games as well, not just Tencent as a game studio, but other game studios that look into this because it is helpful for the point of the player base. But hey, you know, you just do not know what's around the corner. So fingers crossed that could be something in the future. And obviously shout out to Frodo2377 for a great little post on the Reddit page. And now on to MCOC meme review. Meme review, people. Using healing pots and revives during event quest. Command release Horse of Fortune and Horse of Healing. When you complain that AI has dexterity, but you say it happened in arena. Professional idiot. I think that's a bit harsh. The game's not already, it's not perfect. Ebony Maw easily takes down his opponent. Have you added him to your team? Not sure if this is serious or being sarcastic. Me after pulling a 5-star domino. Me, I think I jizzed all over the floor. Well, that's, by the comment section, that's usually the kind of thing.
Did you just come? Why did you just come first? It's so annoying. Did you just come everywhere? Why not? Yeah, okay, fine.
Super passive AI. Glancing buff. Avengers Endgame events. Ooh. New AW and Map 7. Ah! And our final meme is me and the boys. This is a popular meme, by the way, at the moment. And it's me and the boys. Me and the boys ensuring we kabam all the summoners in their 5 and 6-star crystals with troll overs. It's funny because it's true. There we go, guys. That has been the Marvel Contest of Champions News Weekend. If you did enjoy the news, hit the like button, subscribe for Marvel Contest of Champions based content. And obviously do understand this is not exactly like the Monday, Wednesday and Friday editions of MCC News, which are a little bit more serious. They have the odd jokes from time to time, but it is largely more serious and helps out players, keeping them informed and other sort of things like that. Whereas the weekend edition is more community based. We take a discussion, we look at funny things, because we don't want to take the game too seriously at times. I think that's kind of boring. You need a bit of kind of like fun and interaction and other things like that. Actual fun and interaction, not what is described as being fun and interactive. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe for Marvel Contest Champions based content. Check out some of my other content here and obviously the channels down below. And I shall see you again for another video. Goodbye for now.